Chiefs Kingdom, on today's show, we have an injury update on Bryan Cook, on Drue Tranquill, on Donovan Smith, and a couple other injuries that the Chiefs sustained last night against the Packers. We also got an official statement from our good old friends, the refs, who, well, did not have a good game last night. And I gotta tell you what, let's start this out right. If you think that this is pass interference, we probably know it is. But if you think it is, hit that like button right now because, gosh dang, this hurt the Chiefs more than anything else last night. Let's get rolling. Let's talk about it here on the Chiefs Report. We appreciate you joining us here on this Monday. And, well, let's start off with the injury news that we know or don't know because Andy Reid today in his morning press conference gave us no update. Andy, come on, man. We had 5 players that went down at one point, 2 of which did not return at all. 1 did not play a second half. And yet he comes into today's press conference saying, we have no injury updates. Thanks a lot, Big Red. I'm telling you, I don't really know. Like, you got to give us something here. That's the whole part of your job. Listen, I'm not going to dog on Andy Reid. He's a great coach. But at the same time, you got to give us something in terms of an injury report after you had really 5 guys go down. Omenihu went down for a play. Pacheco went down for a play. Now both of those guys came back. But there was other players that didn't. So let's see what we know right now. Obviously, I mentioned 2 of the players that got hurt and came back in pretty quickly, Pacheco along with Omenihu. The 3 other players that got injured and returned or not returned, Bryan Cook, the ankle injury that left him out for the rest of the game, his ankle was turned the wrong way. Funny enough, we actually have some positive news on that. Yeah, that's kind of surprising. Drue Tranquill, another guy who did not return, he got injured really early in that game with a concussion and is still in concussion protocol today. Now, Donovan Smith, he had a quote-unquote stinger, had this pretty much the same exact injury, at least that was the way it was described by Andy Reid, last week against the Raiders, now has it again. So he did come back in for a little bit during the first half, but then Wanya Morris, the rookie offensive tackle out of Oklahoma, came in, finished the second half for Smith. And I'm telling you what, there's just been so many injuries, the loss, everything has just been negative right now for the Chiefs. And I think we need to get some good vibes rolling here on the Chiefs board. We need to get this Chiefs team back up on the saddle and really just rolling through everything here because, honestly, it's been a tough little stretch. So I want you to do me a favor. Type KC in the comments of today's video. Go down there. It takes 2 seconds. I'm telling you, it's going to help get the good vibes here with Kansas City. Get them back in the win column this week against the Bills. And on top of which, hopefully, decrease and maybe take away all the Chiefs' injuries and hopefully we can stop talking about injuries every single day. We do have an update on Bryan Cook, sort of. What do I mean by that? Well, let's kind of dive into that here with our original report that we got this morning from Jerry Fowler from ESPN saying that the X-ray came back negative on Bryan Cook's ankle and he will undergo more evaluation today, but he did not break his ankle. Great news, right? That's great. We saw his ankle was literally turned the wrong way. It was a nasty injury. I recommend you don't watch it if you haven't seen it. You are doing good if you haven't seen it. Don't watch it. It looked terrible. It looked like he was done for the season. It was very, very bad. But we have that report, right? Well, the problem is Andy Reid today in his press conference said he wouldn't confirm the ESPN report that his ankle wasn't broken. Said, quote unquote, that he will give the facts. He's not going to comment on it until he gets it. Again, thanks, Big Red. You're really helping us out here. We're trying to look for reports, trying to see what is going on with this team, the injuries here, there, everywhere, and you're not giving us anything. I mean, it's a report that came out this morning from credible sources, and you can't even say, oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know what's going on there. Like, I know it was a tough game last night. It was probably a long flight home, but you got to tell us something. Like, what exactly was that? I don't know, man. Here's the good news. Andy Reid did give us some positives with Nick Bolton and his availability for potentially playing this upcoming Sunday versus the Buffalo Bills. That's going to come up here in just a minute. But before that, I'm going to tell you about today's sponsor, Game Time. Game Time, I'm telling you, is the only way you need to get your tickets for sports, music, comedy, theater. Pretty much every event in your area, they have it. And I use it almost every week. In fact, I used it this past weekend to go to a college football game. Literally, Friday night, got the tickets for Saturday. It's super fast, super easy. And Game Time, you don't have to worry about buying tickets with your next big event. They're going to give you the peace of mind when buying tickets with their best price guarantee. They have things like last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, and it's easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Game Time is also obsessed with finding ways to help you save on money with their zone deals, where you can save an average of 18% with all you do is picking a section and then you pick seats. Now, one of my favorite things about Game Time is their super user-friendly app. You can scroll through, see obviously the cheapest tickets, see the best view, and if you click into it, you get a 360 view of your seat, automatically knowing what you're going to see before you even get to the stadium. Plus, they're the easiest way to get last-minute tickets. And for special Chiefs Report watchers only, we have a discount code, Chiefs Chat, where if you put that in to the redeem code section, you're going to get $20 off. Come on, guys, go use it. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account using code Chiefs Chat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHIEFSCHAT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets at the lowest price guarantee. Okay, that update on Nick Bolton. What exactly did we get? Well, he said this, or at least Andy Reid kind of gave us this little bit, saying he's chomping at the bit to get back in there, and he says we'll see whether he'll be back in Week 14. Adds he'll be a week better in his injury recovery after practicing all of last week. So not fully confirming that he'll be back, but given that Nick Bolton literally wants to play as much as humanly possible, and now you have Drue Tranquill in a concussion protocol, you kind of need him back. I mean, this linebacker room has been ripped to shreds. Bolton was hurt for the longest time with that IR stint. Drue Tranquill now in concussion protocol. Is he going to be available next week after he got kneed in the head by A.J. Dillon? Obviously not on purpose, but dang, that still hurts. I mean, this linebacker room has been absolutely crazy. Leo Chenal last night had to switch to middle linebacker, and Jack Cochran had to pop up into that linebacker spot on the right side of the field. I'm telling you, they both look good, but I want Nick Bolton back. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about Jack and Leo just in case Nick Bolton does not play this Sunday, because I think it was interesting that Reid also mentioned Jack during his press conference, saying that he was the second leading tackler on the team last night with 7 tackles. I also had 2 tackles for loss. And to quote Andy Reid, he filled in very well. He was there in the right spots. Overall was had a good week of practice, is what he said. So I don't want to say he was over the moon on Cochran, but at the same time, he wasn't like, we just kind of had to throw him out there. Now, Leo Chenal, funny enough, only had 2 tackles last night. But if you were in our watch party, you know that he was constantly around the ball. He was always getting into the backfield. I mean, that guy was all over the field, and he's played more this year than Cochran already, obviously having that starting role. So either way, if you don't have Nick Bolton, you're going to have to rely on these 2 guys to come in and continue to play well now without Drue Tranquill if he can't play either. But this linebacker room has now been ripped to shreds. Hopefully it doesn't matter because Leo Chenal, he can stay in that starting position on the right side, and you could pop up Nick Bolton in the middle linebacker spot as long as he can come back this week. But Jack Cochran will be seeing the playing field, obviously, even if Nick Bolton comes back because, well, you're going to need him to kind of ease his way back into this. Now, if you want to see Nick Bolton this week, you're tired of seeing Tranquill, you want to see more Nick Bolton, well, then type in B because, listen, we all love Drue Tranquill, but we know that Nick Bolton has a presence on this team that Tranquill just hasn't been able to exactly be up to that. I think it'd be awesome to see both of them on the field. Hopefully when Tranquill is healthy in the upcoming weeks, we can see both of them on there. But if you want Nick Bolton back this week, then type NB in the comment section. We got an official statement on the pass interference call in last night's game, or maybe pass interference, no call. So here's what we got from the referee last night, Brad Allen. He said this: the covering officials were in good position and ruled that there was no material restriction that rose to the level of defensive pass interference. How is this not restricting him to catch the ball? He's giving the man a piggyback ride. I don't know where this is coming from. What restriction? I don't get it. And I'll be the first one to say that every single call last night in that final drive was missed. Do I think that was a late hit on Patrick Mahomes? I don't really think so. But at the same time, he got the first down, so it really wouldn't have mattered. This was a pass interference call that would put the Chiefs inside the 10-yard line with less than a minute to go. There was a pass interference on the dang Hail Mary when they got pushed in the back with Travis Kelce. I just don't get how this was not pass interference. And the fact that they doubled down. It wasn't like, oh, well, we're going to take a look at that. It was, no, we 100% know that there was no material restriction. How is he not getting restricted? Like the video if you think it was a pass interference call. Just spam that like button right now. It's just absolutely infuriating. And I'm not saying the Chiefs would have won, but you cannot continue to have these referees run the NFL. It's just getting ridiculous. Like all over the NFL, the referee is just terrible. Penalties are getting out of there. What's pass interference? At time it was what a catch. Now it's what's pass interference. I don't know. What's roughing the passer? I don't know. Please stop the ref show. Like this video if it's a pass interference call. That's my last little bit for the rant to you guys. We appreciate you watching here on this Monday, and as always, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out.